Alright, how's it going everyone? Back with another weekly dev vlog so far. But enjoying getting back to the groove and the rhythm of the weekly dev vlog, especially for the Covert Valley side. More motivated and kind of getting back, like I said, with the past videos when I did the whole dev vlogs for Covert Valley. Um, but we're going to be talking about the loading screen, character menu, inventory changes, emote changes as well. Um, some of the UI stuff, our next monthly town hall that'll be starting soon, um, and some other stuff, some future things like that. But we'll get into it. The loading screen. You've seen in the previous videos, pretty much all the same. I just changed some photos, went and dug some from the past and whatnot, and found some to kind of just be more of a placeholder thing, anyways. Change it up. We'll do the community member of the month. Currently, there's no videos with any of these playing. It's just a photo. The only one that has a clip currently is the one up in the corner.
We're going onto the freeway. We lost one.
And the volume is controlled with the volume down here as well. So whatever this volume is, what the clip's going to start. So it has its own separate volume, but default it's going to go with your volume slider down here. You can mute, unmute, change the song, do the whole volume slider to change the volume. It all saves. So when you load in next time, it's going to be the settings you leave it as, so that way you don't have to deal with loud blaring music every time. It'll be your settings so it doesn't hurt your ears and stuff like that. Loading screens, this will be just something quick, something to kind of, keep you entertained while you wait to load in the city. But after your first load in, you're really not going to be looking at the screen too long anyways, especially since the one issue's been fixed. So, current logo rework. Don't know if we're going to keep it. I just wanted to kind of get something new put in. But now it shatters into a couple of pieces instead of just the 4 bits, the 4 little pieces the last logo did. When you first load in, you're not going to have your character here doing its own little emote stuff, but you can change the scene background. You can select the different dance, whatever you want to do. Music. It's going to have the same music as a loading screen. And it has this little volume slider and then mute and unmute and stuff like that. And this also saves. So next time you load in, whatever settings you had previously, it'll also be here. So we'll click create character. And you got different options, which law enforcement and public safety, which is EMS and fire right now, are all locked to Discord roles. There's one in Department of Corrections that also is locked to a Discord role. That's the correction officer, but inmate is not. So as a person joining the city, you'll have an option in civilian tabs and then one option in the Department of Corrections for inmates. Now, inmates don't have to be lifers. We're working on adding a system where you can type in the menu how many months you want to be serving your prison term. So then eventually you get released and you can RP it out, whatnot, things like that. Whatnot. So lifer is not the only option when it comes to the inmates. Civilian, currently we just have the unemployed and homeless, and there's also little text stuff that can be changed because the ERS division makes no sense. But little cosmetic stuff to clean up. And when you click on whatever you're doing for your job, you get different starting locations. You got the Los Santos Airport, the bus station in Los Santos, and then you got the Sandy Shores Airport. So which one you pick is where you're going to spawn at. Each one has a garage nearby, so for your starting vehicle, which we'll get to next, will also be nearby. Homeless, you get a couple extra options. You get, of course, 3 main options, but then you get like Freeway Underpass, Sandy Shores, and then the abandoned theater that's in Los Santos. Then inmates, you don't get a choice. You're going to spawn in the prison regardless. And then you have, starting budget with starting items that you select and pick from. Prices need to be changed. The starting budget needs to be updated. That's all going to come when we do the economy setup. We're just trying to get everything set up into the city, get it all added, all the variables and things like that that will affect the economy. And we were at first using the term realistic economy. We're more or less switching to a balanced economy, because try to get a one-to-one economy to like real life is going to be almost nearly impossible, but also would be fun. And at the end of the day, like, this is a video game. We're here to have fun and to enjoy, and we don't want it to be too grindy. We also don't want to make where items don't really have any value to them because money is just, all out there. So we got to really balance it out, but that'll come once we kind of get majority of the factors added. It's kind of hard to balance when we have different heists and robberies getting added and jobs kind of switching and things like that and being added. So we'll get that all figured out. But for now, we'll go up to civilian. And for now, we'll pick Los Santos Airport for this one. And here's like the starting vehicle, which the starting vehicle goes into your budget. So we really got to price out those vehicles. And I want to look at making it where these ain't like brand spanking new vehicles, sort of thing. Maybe like make it where they have like a little bit of problems, but they still get you like point A to point B sort of thing. Just a great, first time starting car, more or less. But then there's your supplies and all that stuff, and every time you add something, it's going to take away from the budget and whatnot. But you'll have different starting items in here when it comes to that. But for now, I'm not going to do a vehicle. I'll continue. Menus here. We'll just do some random stuff in here. Calendar works. You can click the December up there. All the way back. Select a month, a day, and or you can type it in, but it's going to be the year, month, and day is how it's set up there. Nationality. Pick it. Create character. And then you're in the airport, which you'll customize. Pretty sure you guys know how to work a custom character menu. So I'm not going to go through all that. But currently this is not an MLO airport skin or building. But I wanted something for the airport to spawn into. There's no like stairs out of here. There's these two elevators doors. So when you're facing, you go into the right one, which there'll be signs and stuff up. I'll get that mapped out. When you go in the right one, though, it's going to put you in the parking garage that's right outside of the airport because you're like here. So it's like going up the elevator and then walking across the sky bridge. That's more or less what it is, but you're just teleporting, and a garage will be here, and your vehicle will be in here. But I didn't pick a vehicle. But if you didn't pick a vehicle as well with your character, you can go into the left elevator, and you're now at the top where people can pick you up. You can go run. You can go up to one of these little go away vehicles here, third eye it, rent it, type in how long you want to keep it. It'll process payment, and then you just get on it after the key gets added. And then you're just off. And you can travel the city and go do your thing. Whatever you're here to do. But so that is going to be the airport spawn. / log out. Come back here. We'll do another character. And we'll pick Sandy Shores. Random stuff, because it doesn't matter. Yep, perfect. And then the Sandy Shore garage is going to be out of the building and around over here. And that's where the garage is at for your vehicle. So, more or less, that is the character UI menu on that. And then, of course, you can delete. And you'll notice that the scene is set for each character, so you can change the scene, and each character have their own dance and background that they do and whatnot. Personalize each character, so we'll go ahead and just go back onto this one. Some of you may recognize this place. Don't know if we'll actually use it. Don't know if MI or Ministry of Integrity will come back. Don't really know how we'll handle the whole like admins in game and stuff like that. I know I don't want to break immersion and have the whole like them just teleport and spawn on you and things like that. I've never been a big fan of that, but don't know how we'll go about it because we got fresh eyes, fresh ideas, fresh people in the community now that didn't have the whole Ministry of Integrity. It's new to them, so they might have a new idea how to handle that sort of thing. But so inventory. So previously I was working on my inventory system and whatnot, but just with going full RP, I wasn't going to have a whole lot of time to really, I mean, I could have a lot of time, but it would just delay the server. And I don't want to do that. I want to kind of get into a beta or something for you guys to get on and play and to enjoy and help us, you know, figure things out more than just, you know, oh, well, we got to wait for Punisher to get this done. So, for the most part, everything that my inventory that I was working on had, this one had already, or I was able to add it into it. This redesign I'll also link down below, the same with all the other scripts that we have bought. Now the ones that are in-house, you can't buy them even though there's not listed anywhere, things like that. I may have a public release of them somewhere, some point, but I don't plan on selling them publicly. There's no selling. So either they'll be released for free or they're just going to be an in-house. So all your clothing slots now are in the center of the screen. Supposed to have a character preview. It ain't working. You can go into the settings and there's a whole option for the whole character preview. I have it turned off because with it turned on, it does this little spin thing and puts you in front. Because you're supposed to have like your character in front of you that's in focus and not the character in the background that's out of focus. So eventually it'll be fixed. I just have it turned off. You can change the colors and the text and all that stuff with the settings as well. When you take off your clothing, it's kind of hard to see because it's all foggy, but I should probably just start with the vest. But see in the background that clothing is being removed, and then when you move it back, it goes on. So people can, you know, rob you of your clothes and things like that, and have your outfit and so forth. The hidden slots are still a thing that have been carried over. So 2 slots are tied to pants, 1 is tied to the shoes, and then your jacket is the other one. So you can put items in there whenever, even if you have like your jacket or any of the, doesn't matter, but even if it's like green, you can put items in there. But more or less, when you have these clothing items on, you're not going to be able to see those items. So when somebody searches you, they're not going to see, in theory, the items in there. Still got to test, still got to work, getting that all tweaked and stuff like that. But that is the purpose of that. Originally it was made for the prison server that was being made. I mean, that's still a thing, but now it just carries over into the full server because I can't just lock that to the prison and things like that. So it's options there. New things as well is you got a wallet and backpack down here, which there's different backpack items that have different things. Boxes will pop up in the top right here, and you'll just scroll and we'll see if it's working. Yes. Okay. So that is now working. More or less, you just got to look at the picture icon because you're not really going to see the text up in these corners since it's just so small. But it just gives you more storage. So to kind of clean up your inventory and your pockets and stuff like that, you can move items into these locations. Only downside is like your phone can't be used for your keys or your radio, but all of those items have keybinds anyways that activate it and all that stuff. There's just no hotkey to make it work with it in the slot. So if you wanted to actually use the item itself, you either have to open up the inventory and like use it, or drag it into your like pockets up here to be usable. So that's more or less, these are just for those items and not like a weapon or something like that. You like able to pull out. Same with like hidden. So the only usable like slots that have keybinds for items are your pocket slots, or if the script itself has it, because like the phone, you press M, the radio, it's your talk key and all that stuff. You only really need to use the item to turn it on. But so yeah, that's pretty much the inventory on that. Like the redesign is more or less what I was wanting for mine. I just never was able to really get it there. So P scripts made this one. I use a lot of their scripts already, because currently the EMS and police script is by them. That will be changing. It's on the Trello board for the next kind of like jobs we're going to get for police, EMS, mechanic, and fire. We'll talk more about those in a future video when we get them as well, but at least now you can kind of clean up your wallet and all that stuff. And then these have been changed. Still got to kind of get the text to be where it's supposed to be at, but got new ID system and all that stuff that's still being tweaked and worked on. Mostly it's just cosmetic issues. Next thing we'll talk about is the emote menu. So in the previous video as well, I was making my own emote menu. I also made a version for Nova Heights, but with, like I said, just like with the inventory with the change, I didn't have a whole lot of time to like tweak it and work on it and make sure like everything was working that it needs to be. And so went and got this one. That's recommended by the emote dev that we're going to get a lot of their emotes from. Already have a couple of their emotes, but we'll be getting more. And what I like about it is there's a lot of different features. So that might be a good one. Okay, I guess that's good. So like you can I think I gotta turn it off. So like I can just do upper body, and now my legs don't dance. It's just the upper body part. So you can toggle that on when it comes to the emotes and things like that, to be able to do different things. They got like in-vehicle emotes, which I need to delete that. So you got like different taunts that it comes with. And then weapon style is how you pull out your weapon, which there's a script and more emotes to add more different weapon pullouts that we'll be getting eventually as well. So more or less out of convenience, I went with this because it did mostly everything I wanted, and then I could add to it what I needed, and it just had a lot of extra stuff. Walking styles, so they're all in here, and your walk style saves. So when you log out, server restart, so forth, whatever your walk style was last set to is what it's going to be. And then another thing I like is you can create groups, so you can invite many people as you want into your group. And when it comes to like all the synchronized dances and things like that, you can add as many people as you want, and you can all kind of be in sync for the dance and stuff like that. And then settings, you can change menu size, music volume for the emotes that have music with them, menu position, and just so forth. Just a lot of different things in here for different toggle options and stuff like that. One thing that it didn't have that I wanted to be carried over was idle emotes. So there's a command for idle emotes, and it pops up here, and you turn it on. You'll set whatever emote you want. Well, supposed to be able to, but I'm going to assume with the new UI, I have to readjust that. Okay. Well, it looks like there's this little delay or something, but got a whole new UI system that we'll be talking about right now. I guess it's a good time to kind of segue into that. So, this is violations. Relation scripts. So it's UI themes. That would be your command. Because on the staff side, we can make a default theme for everybody that's forced to use, and then you can come in and create your own. So everything that comes with like UI, so all the notifications, progress bars, anything like that, you're able to customize, change the colors, everything when it comes to it. So it gives you more freedom, so that way you can change it where you can see it better, move it to different spots, just different radio menu options, things like that. It's a whole drawer option to give different information, different skill checks, skill stuff. One thing I really like about it is the timeline thing, so that way we can set up certain timelines for different heists to give people little hints on how to do certain things, since a lot of them are in depth. But we'll definitely go more in depth with the theme editor and the UI violation scripts when we talk about all of their scripts. But since the UI was kind of mentioned with the emote, I wanted to kind of throw that in there. Then we do have JD's HUD still, so /settings, and then you're able to sit here and customize everything to your liking as well with the HUD. Both of these scripts share a import and export option, so somebody has a design that you like, or somebody has a design that they want to share with the community, you'll be able to sit there and do that and be able to import and export and things like that. So we'll go ahead and just no clip out of here. And since I'm just down here, I've talked about it previously as well. The drag track, going to be working on this soon. Currently, the next phase after getting all of the initial player first experience stuff set up and make sure it's all functional, we will go ahead and go with the emergency side set up. So police, troopers, all that stuff, make sure all their stuff is squared away and good to go for that. But this drag track is pretty well long. Don't have to worry about people launching into the ocean. Also, it's not clip arty, so it's a little bit more nicer on the eyes. We got a derby track, mechanic little place, things like that. It's kind of hard to find a decent drag track that doesn't want to take over an airport and also has like a way to get to it. For the most part, it's in a spot where it's not going to cause a lot of issues. There's a few like tracks with the RHE racing that comes through here. That's another thing that's being changed and kind of going away for right now, was through my versing of the racing. Since I didn't have a whole lot of time to work on it and to polish it out, we'll just go back to the full RHE racing, boosting and drifting and all that stuff, and just use those. So the next town, well, I guess the first town hall is going to be August 15th at 6:30 p.m. Central Time, which Discord should change it to your time anyways at the event, so you know when that is. Starting it off early in early development, because I would like to hear, we would like to hear from all of you. I'm still getting used to the whole saying we and not just I and me and all that stuff, because it's just not me anymore. It's been just me, especially these last year or so, really just doing a whole lot. Like iPod and others be here helping out, but weren't too involved with a lot of the stuff going on. They were just kind of just helping here, helping there when they can. But now that's no longer an issue, so we'll have the town hall meeting, like I said, on August 15th. And then we'll start having them every month as we just kind of go through the process. Keep you guys in the loop, so that way you know how long development is going to be until like a beta gets released and so forth. Is kind of where we're at progress-wise. Some of that had to be removed off the map was all those tunnel systems that linked up. Maybe we might be able to bring them back, but currently with the Polito project, it's just causing a lot of problems and it doesn't work. So I'm hoping in future devlog videos, it's just not going to be me talking to all of you. We'll be able to get all the other devs and people involved, and they'll be able to talk about what they're working on and things like that to help showcase different stuff, because there's scripts that they're working on that I don't know much about / really haven't touched in the past anyways, since other people already worked on them. So I think that's going to wrap up this one. I just really wanted to cover the first player experience as you're loading in, entering the city, and just kind of what the plan, the ideas and stuff are, which is currently being changed from like the previous videos to what it is now. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you in the next devlog.